Trigger stacking.
Hello and welcome to our video on trigger stacking. Some days your dog appears completely fine and other days are an utter nightmare, and it's really hard for us to tell what's made the difference. For dogs who live life on the edge or who have a lot of stressful events happening, understanding trigger stacking can really help us manage our dog and their behaviour better. Imagine you wake up in the morning and your alarm hasn't gone off, but you've got a really important meeting at work. You get in the shower and there's no hot water, and when you get dressed you put your toe through your sock. You burn the toast and then you spill the coffee down your white shirt and have to go and get changed again. When you get in the car it doesn't start first time, and this makes you even later. Someone cuts you up on the roundabout and you arrive at work a frazzled mess. As you pull into the car park, your partner rings to ask you something really trivial, and it's them that gets the brunt of your anger. The straw has broken the camel's back, and you're absolutely trigger stacked. We can recognise this in ourselves, but this is what happens in our dogs. So we're going to take you through some examples so we can understand how this might affect our dogs on a daily basis. When your dog has a reactive event, adrenaline and other chemicals surge through their bodies. It makes them prickly and on edge, and we know that it takes 72 hours for this blood chemistry to return to normal. Their heart rates, their blood pressure and their breathing rates all go up. This collects over time and starts to release stress hormones called cortisol, which means that the dog is stressed all the time, even when stressful events aren't happening. So let's imagine this scenario. Here is your dog, nice and asleep, and the postman comes. They're pretty wound up, and as they watch the postman leave the house, they notice a cat walking past the window. They start to bark, have a reactive event, so you let them out into the garden, and as they run out into the garden, there's a pigeon on the back fence, which they then bark at and chase away. It's really muddy in your garden. Your dog comes back in, and you have to wipe their paws down to prevent mud from going all over the house. Your dog absolutely hates having their paws wiped and growls at you and mouths at the towel. Then you decide the best way to calm your dog down is to go for a walk. So you get the lead and harness out, which your dog also hates, and they hide under the table. You grab the dog out, you force the harness on, and it's time to leave the house. As you leave the house, a motorbike goes zooming up the road, backfires a little bit, and we know that your dog doesn't like loud noises. You reach the corner just before the park, and a pesky kid zooms past your dog on a scooter. We've had a massive collection of stressful events, even though we may not have noticed, and then the ultimate happens. Your dog sees another dog. The threshold for aggression has been reached, and so it appears that the behaviours come out of nowhere, where in actual fact the dog has trigger stacked a collection of stressful events for the previous 2 hours before going for a walk. Choosing your walk time and assessing your dog's emotional state before leaving the house for a walk is so important in managing our dog's reactivity. So we're going to look at this a little bit more in our video on managing your environment.
Key points. Trigger stacking is where multiple stressful events happen in quick succession. It takes over 72 hours for the body to normalise. Any event which raises arousal can be a trigger. We can help by being aware of events. We can help by minimising stressful triggers.